80s. I know when something good has happened, the left implodes immediately afterwards. Take the tax bill, which has twisted Democrats into bitter pretzels. I mean, when you're saying the bill benefits the rich, then you call the millions of rebates crumbs, you look stupid. It's like noting that a chef is fat while he's cooking free meals at a shelter. So the tax bill must be awesome because the hits keep coming. The Dems actually want to repeal it, and I hope they try. In a recent town hall, Nancy Pelosi claims the bill was passed in the dead of night. A massive lie, even for her. In fact, we knew more about the tax bill than we know about her immense wealth. On the 5, we debated the damn thing for months. None of us loved it completely because we knew what was in it. Unlike Obamacare, a flaming mess dumped on America's porch at midnight. Then there's this.
If what you're doing is cutting the taxes at the high end and therefore not being allowed to invest in the future, you're doing a grave disservice to our country. Some patriots.
Yeah, so the bill's unpatriotic. How so? Are those millions of bonuses coming from corporations unpatriotic? I guess if it's not from Nancy's pen, then it's treason. Or is it the wage increases that came as a direct result of the cuts? Is that unpatriotic? I guess if it's not welfare, it must be evil. Fact is, to Pelosi, what's unpatriotic is any solution that her party, that hapless band of fools, didn't come up with. Whether it's immigration reform or tax cuts, it's just not right unless it's done by the left. And then, boy, does it suck. All right, we have to play this thought, which I just saw. This is Nancy Pelosi offering Democratic suggestions for border security. It involves a lawnmower.
Let's sit down and talk this through and see what makes sense, not some commitment to a promise that we're going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. That's never going to happen. But let's talk about where a more serious structure might be necessary, where fencing will do, where mowing the grass so that people can't be smuggled through the grass, and that's something about levees, technology, personnel.
I think this is the rallying cry, Jesse, for the Democratic Party. Mow that lawn. Mow that lawn.
Was the mow the lawn and the crumbs. I mean, it's just a whole host of unforced errors from Nancy. Listen, they've lost the tax debate, and their messaging has been atrocious. They've positioned themselves as being against people keeping more of their money. And you see it in the polls. Even Democrat support for the tax cuts doubled from 9% to 18%. The rest of the American public, when you put it all together, I think it's now over 50%. Juan the other day said something that I found very interesting about the popularity of the tax bill. He said he's surprised the tax cuts weren't at 90% popularity. And I'm very glad to hear you say that, Juan, that you would actually admit that 90% of the country wants to keep more of their money. Maybe the Democratic Party can listen to the American people and start cutting taxes too.
Juan, respond.
Well,
that almost rhymed.
If we have a poll on ice cream, apple pie, and grandmothers, what do you think the results should be? If it was 50%, you'd say, what the hell? How can 50% of America not like grandmothers, apple pie,
Some grandmothers are evil.
Yeah, maybe you only give them a little bit of ice cream. Maybe they wanted more.
We have a tax cut that Mr. Trump says is the greatest thing ever. And it's only now approaching 50%. And according to the polls, it's only like a quarter of Americans who say they've seen any kind of bump in their pay.
So it's bad.
80%.
I see.
80%.
No,
So
25%. 25% say
wrong.
this. It's not wrong.
It's so wrong.
And then you think about it. You think about the realities that President Trump says something, and you guys play Nancy Pelosi because you love to beat up Nancy Pelosi.
Listen, they're her words.
She's
Yes,
a walking
we beat up
witch
Nancy
of the
Pelosi.
Democrats. Oh, my God. But Nancy Pelosi says something that makes total sense, which is the Mexicans aren't paying for this wall. He promised during the campaign, the Mexicans, now we're going to have to pay for it. And he's saying, oh, you know what, we have ways for you to force you Democrats to pay for it. Why don't Republicans say that's just crazy?
Dana?
Well, I remember something that Chris Darwalt said a few weeks ago, I think it was on the Daily Briefing Show or the podcast, that the best thing that Nancy Pelosi could do for the Democrats in the midterms is wait until the 4th of July recess and retire, or announce she's not going to run again as Speaker, and let the new generation push it forward.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just very obvious at this point that, the time has come and passed. What do the Republicans need to say? Just let Nancy Pelosi keep on talking, to be quite honest, because she's not making any sense. She says things that just are completely nonsensical, and the Republicans just sit there and go, at least we've come up with ideas, at least we're putting forward legislation, at least we want people to keep more of their money to reinvest into the market. So she's really like fighting kind of a losing cause and doesn't have any support or any good metaphors, analogies,
Yes.
or examples. Mow the grass.
Or it could be she's on grass.
Ooh.
No one uses that word anymore, right? That's like from Dragnet. We found some grass on him.
Yeah, Juan uses it.
I asked Jesse, hey, you got any grass?
The 5, up in smoke.
Yes.
Yes.
Grass. All right. CNN's hypocritical ambush of a Trump supporter when the 5 returns. Can't get enough of them.
She's my baby, she belongs to me. But yesterday she walked home on the
Hi, I'm Mike.